If I were asked by a colleague to tell them a little bit about the impact of residential learning communities on student learning, I think I would start with how my teaching has changed, because my educational colleagues are often looking at how to do better in the classroom, how to help students learn more, how to help them achieve outcomes better. And so I have countless stories of the things I've learned about students outside of the classroom that have changed my teaching forever. So things like understanding the rhythm of the university and when events are going on and when students are having crises that aren't tied to classes. Things like the types of learning and the ways students act outside of the classroom that really do influence their ability to learn inside the classroom. The compassion I've learned, seeing students as whole people. Sometimes we get students' best selves in the classroom, and sometimes we get students' worst selves inside the classroom. So seeing that they are real people with dynamic lives that often have real academic passions that don't tie into classroom work, but tie into engaged learning experiences outside the classroom.
So professionally speaking, it really informed my pedagogy, my pedagogical approach, my approach to individual students in the classroom at particular times of the year, because I started to understand how the cycle of the social life on my students impacted their ability to show up to the classroom, to be ready to learn, or to process whatever it was that they were learning. I started taking that into account when I would design assignments and when I was looking at the overall timing of things in my syllabus and trying to figure out when things should be due. Maybe I shouldn't make the largest project due during Greek rush. Maybe that's for a first year class or sophomores, if you have sophomore rush. So it impacted my teaching for the better. It improved it. And I would say that it also helped me understand the whole student. So of course I knew what it was like as an individual when I went to college, but things changed and my students are not the same as me. And so working and living with them helped me see how they're developing as a whole person and how I could help facilitate their development both inside and outside of the classroom.
So seeing students in these full settings really allows me to see what motivates them inside the classroom and has changed my teaching to become more experiential in its own. So now I'm using my classroom space to embody many of the principles of residential learning communities, service learning, other types of experiential education and high impact practices.